Howdy folks, and welcome back to Epic the Musical. Today we're going to be listening to the 5th saga, which is the final one of Act 1 and pretty much the midway point of Epic, the Underworld saga. A bit of the story that I don't know or might be original to this. I'm not 100% sure. I pulled up a synopsis of the poem The Odyssey, and it read like a child explaining a movie, where it basically said, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then they did this, and then they went here, and then this happened. And it was kind of hard to follow like what was actually kind of important, but in just the tiny little bit I read, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have a false memory of something I thought I remembered from The Odyssey. I didn't catch anything about the Underworld, so I don't know if this was an invention for the musical or what. Maybe y'all can let me know in the comments, because you know I got a farm for that engagement, right? But yeah, we are coming to the end of Act 1. I'm really curious to see what about this is going to constitute the end of Act 1, because as far as I'm concerned, they're still really far from Ithaca and still have a lot they need to go through. So I'm really curious what kind of story beats we're going to get to make this, you know, impactful and heavy, especially because this saga only has 3 songs in it: The Underworld, No Longer You, and Monster. And they're not particularly long. One of them is about 4.5 minutes, it looks like. One of them is under 3, and one of them is just shy of 4. So 2 good length songs and one kind of shorter one, but nothing like with 3 songs I was kind of expecting one of them to maybe be like 6 minutes or something super long like that. But so I'm just really curious to see how they tell the story here, what we get. Going into the Underworld, it might be interesting to see them kind of meet up with members of their crew who have since died. I think it was implied that Polites died in the Cyclops saga, given I think at least the one animatic I was watching, they were really focusing on a guy with glasses that I think was supposed to be Polites. So hey, we might get some people that we haven't seen in quite a while show up here. So let's scooch over here and get ready to watch and listen. Hey, if you're just finding the channel, thanks for finding me. Go watch my other Epic reactions if you haven't yet. I think they're pretty decent. At least people seem to be liking them so far. Thanks to everyone who has watched those and is continuing to watch them. Do me a favor, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you see when more of these come out. Like I said, we're about halfway done here, so 4 to go after this, if I can count. And, you know, it's less than both fingers on both of my hands, so I should be able to get there, folks. But yeah, make sure you leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this saga, of the reaction, trivia about the songs, anything you want to tell me. And as always, if you want to see the uncut reactions of this and any other Epic or almost everything else I've ever done, there's a link to the Patreon down in the description below. You can get these for the $3 tier if you want to throw a couple extra bucks my way. But as always, glad that you're just here watching on YouTube. And because there's never a good time to introduce this, my tea for tonight is peppermint. One of my favorite kinds of tea, but I always forget that we have it. So I had to go digging for it, and I was like, yes, we have a couple bags left. So as always, if you're enjoying a beverage watching this, what are you drinking? The first of 3 is coming up here, The Underworld. This is from who I believe to be a new artist here. This is from the channel Clover. As always, the links to all of the animatics that I'm watching are in the description as well. So go support them if you haven't seen them. Give them another watch if you have. But this is The Underworld, kicking off the Underworld saga, starting up in 3, 2, 1, go. A little flash warning here, and I don't think they're talking about the animation program. This is very loud. There's the full speed ahead again.
This line confuses your mind, so no matter who we find, full speed ahead until we find the prophet.
I had completely forgotten that we were here to find a prophet who was dead. I thought we were using the Underworld as like a wormhole to like skip ocean, like a speedrun trick. I love how the River of Souls, I'm assuming the Styx River was drawn there. Very neon looking. Yep, Polites, like I said, right? I love this beat here, too. Wait, or does it? I'm confused as to whether or not it confuses you.
558 men who died under your command.
Damn, 558. So they're down to 42?
Captain, Captain,
Yeah. Yeah.
to let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy. All I hear
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
every time I dare to close my eyes.
Ooh, and I love all of their voices joining his in harmony there. This one's off to a good start.
Thinking of the infant from that night. I keep thinking of the infant from that night.
Oh, are you going to run into him here? Polities. Yep. I you know, he's looking for an oracle, but you got one right here, folks. A nice surprise, but that was probably my least favorite song from that saga, unfortunately. I do love of everyone else who was really upset with Odysseus. Polites was still just his jolly, jovial self.
It can't be. Mom?
Oh, wow. He's like, please God, don't show me Penelope. Don't show me Penelope.
I took too long.
Yeah.
And ventured too far.
I love the, see, and I'm not good enough at like ear training to know like what, but I really like the kind of chord structure here. It's different from before. I don't know if we necessarily want to call it a key change. I mean, I guess you technically would.
Bye, Mom.
That's rough. There's still a little bit more.
I hear a scream. All I hear a scream. Every time I dare to close my eyes.
And I don't know if we're in a higher key here too either. But if I might have to go back here in a second just to hear.
What it seems, but in the underworld,
But if so, that was a really slick way to change keys.
your past is always close behind. Down in the underworld.
Oh, there they are. Well, that was a really, really good start to this saga. So what I was talking about the really slick way to change keys is that typically, I don't even want to say typically, but like maybe the easiest way to change keys would be if you're singing in one key, right? And then you like, there's like a single line or a single like measure of music where you kind of do like a transitional chord, and then you hit like the second key that you're supposed to be in, and then you typically sing like one more chorus in that newer higher key. It's a really easy way to like express like emotion through a song. Like I'm trying to think of like a really famous key change, but like for whatever reason I'm just like completely blanking. But that's, you know, typically you either get like directly into it, or like the music like has, like I said, a transitional measure before they hit that higher key. But what I think they did here, and like I said, hold on, let me kind of see if I can get the chorus. I'm trying to find the all I hear are screams part. All I hear are screams. And I can't tell if he's an octave up. All I hear are screams. I mean, no, that is okay. So that was a key change. So the cool way that they did it there is that they cut to like this kind of quieter section where we get like the reprise of With Arms Wide Open, not the Creed song, but like With Open Arms. And then we hit, you know, his mother coming in, and I noticed like a little bit of a different sound quality to like the chords, but it was masked by being completely different from any other section in the song. And, you know, having a different melody, being sung very quietly and everything. And then when we go right back into the all I hear are screams, we're still in that same key that we were in the Odysseus and his mom section, the I took too long. So it doesn't feel jarring because we were already in that new key in this little kind of transition-y period in this other little section, which is really clever. Like that is very, very good songwriting. I got to do a little bit of music theory analysis, and that makes me really happy. Like I said, I'm really bad at like ear training, so I couldn't tell you what key we were in and what key we went to, but Really slick. I like that a lot. Really, really strong start here to this here saga. Immediately, this song itself was better than anything I think from the last one. Looking back, Puppeteer, Wouldn't You Like, Done For, There Are Other Ways. I will say, after going through that other one again and listening to those songs again, There Are Other Ways does stand out to me. The melody from it kind of stuck in my head. There are other ways, da 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 da. Like that was kind of going through my head every now and again over the past couple days since I recorded that last one. But like I said, really strong start here. I really dug that one, The Underworld. So now let us head on to, this is, I think we've had one from this artist before, Ximena Natzel. That sounds familiar at least. What one was that? Let me scroll up on the Storm. They did Storm. I think that is, yeah, that's it so far from them. Storm. So this song is titled, I think I just said it, but I'll say it again if I didn't. No Longer You, starting up in 3, 2, 1.
I am the prophet with the answers.
Also interesting that in this animatic we get like a more widescreen aspect ratio here.
There is a world where I help you get home, but that's not a world I know.
Damn.
I see you on the brink of death. I see you try a final breath. I see you
Man, this dude's got a great voice.
make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
Wow. Those are bars right there.
We've suffered and sailed through the toughest of hells.
Yeah, but who got you into that mess though?
I see your palace covered in red.
And that's because he's gonna kill a shit ton of people there.
Men who had long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies.
That could be him too. I think I hear a little bit of church organ in here too. Little pipe organ. I love it.
I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
Man, and that's to say, is that because, and that could be taken multiple ways. Either it's Odysseus dying and only like one person from his crew makes it home, or this journey has changed him so much that he's effectively no longer the same person. What did they say? This land tricks you, right? Was that him, or was that a trick of the underworld, right? Who was that? What was that character's name? I don't think we got it. All right, I need to search real quick. Tiresias. Okay, I do know from a Genesis song. I know a little bit about Tiresias. Cinema Show. Yeah, the Cinema Show. In my head, I got confused between Cinema Show and Musical Box. But in the Cinema Show, I did look this character up because take a little trip back with Father Tiresias. If I remember the myth right, he lived as both a man and a woman to figure out which of the two. And sorry for me for being leaving out the NBs here, but this is back in mythical times. He lived as both a man and a woman to see which of the two enjoyed sex more, is what I remember reading. And it's reflected in the lyrics. Once a man like the sea I raged, once a woman like the earth I gave, but there is in fact more earth than sea. Great song, by the way. It's like 11 minutes long, but it is phenomenal. Beautiful instrumental section at the end. So welcome to Epic Tiresias. Your singer had an incredible voice. Great performance, and I love the lyrical message here. I see a man returning home, but that man is no longer you, and that's like I said right as the song ended. This land messes with you, as they said in the first song here. is that truly Odysseus, just a man forever changed, or is it somebody else? I mean, I know that Odysseus makes it home, and I like the what did he say? I see your halls stained with blood of men who long thought you dead, right? I know that Odysseus gets back to Ithaca and kills a shit ton of people, so I can't wait for that to happen eventually. But real good stuff, and I see once again I was talking about. Real curious to see how this ends Act 1 and ushers us into Act 2. We're getting glimpses of the end of the story, basically, here, which I think is really, really cool to put in here in the musical itself. Good stuff. Really, really vibing with this saga so far. But let us pull up the third and final song of today, Monster, which might continue on the it's no longer you kind of thing. That Odysseus, after all of this, is a monster. Why did you let the Cyclops live? Why'd you do all these things that got your people killed? 558 men, I think they said, which is a lot. A shit ton, actually. Anyway, Monster is the third and final song of today. Let's get it started. Oh, I forgot to say, this is from Gigi. Good old Gigi, welcome back. We've done many of Gigi's animatics here, so always love me a Gigi. So let's get this started up in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh.
How has everything been turned against us? How did suffering become so endless?
Also, the word monster, I'm just remembering, when does a man become a monster? That refrain that's popped up a couple times.
I'm surrounded by the souls of those I've lost. I'm the only one who's
that's a cool shot.
I haven't crossed. What if the greatest threat we'll find across the sea
It's me.
is me?
Yep.
What if I'm the monster? What if I'm in the wrong? What if I'm the problem that's been hiding all along?
Yeah. Every time you thought you were being slick.
When a god comes down and makes a fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing?
I love how we're building on this, adding in the snare here.
So we must respect him, and now no one dares to piss him off. Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile?
Yeah, and there's the baby again. Thank y'all for telling me that Odysseus in this version does indeed kill the baby. And I will say that this kind of doubt, while very human to feel, you still have other men who are still alive that you do have to protect and be there for. So you got to be a man for them.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone, this can't go on.
558, actually.
So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go
Ooh.
where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die,
I'll do it.
then I'll become the monster.
Yeah, oh, that was sick as hell. I love that.
And I'll become the monster like nothing.
Yo, this one's going crazy. This animatic is awesome.
I must become the monster.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a lot to say about this too. It's half what I said before and half something else. Yeah, and there's that refrain too that we've heard.
I'll become the monster.
Yeah, once again, no longer you, right? Oh, that was sick as hell. Yeah, I loved this saga. This saga was awesome. So what I was saying before is what I said partway through is that no matter what you're feeling, you have to be there for your guys who are still alive, right? You got to do right by them. But, as Poseidon was saying, ruthlessness is mercy. He got this far. He got all those men killed by being his kind of trickster self, right? I'm gonna trick this Cyclops and stab his eye and then tell him who I am and all this stuff. I'm gonna mess with the wind god. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And now here we are in the Underworld, the actual ass Underworld. And I'm realizing now that had I killed the Cyclops, we wouldn't have lost all those men. Had I been ruthless and everything, maybe I need to do that moving forward. And I have a feeling that that's, you know, he might be course correcting just a little bit too much, in that, you know, there are going to be situations that require you to be kind. Like, remember the Lotus Eaters? It was Polites who was saying, this life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Had he just gone in there and slain all of the Lotus Eaters, you know, the Cyclops would have been much worse, right, for them, because he was able to drug them with the Cyclops with the what he got from the Lotus Eaters, right? He probably wouldn't have had that had he just gone in guns blazing, as it were, just killing them with ruthlessness, right? And the Cyclops, you know, that situation gets worse. He ends up taking out a lot more of his men. Who knows where it goes from there? But I said all that to say there's a balance to it, right? You were kind to the Lotus Eaters, and that helped you get out of the Cyclops scenario. Pure ruthlessness is never the answer. So I hope that he finds some kind of a balance. Excuse me. But yeah, that just high praise for the animatic there, just in the colors and the visuals and stuff. When he finally says, I will become a monster. If I have to drop another baby, I'll do it. Which, like I said before, thank y'all for confirming for me that Odysseus in this version does indeed kill the baby. Because when I Googled that in the first one way long ago that only got posted recently, I looked up, does Odysseus kill the baby? And found hotly debated, but probably not. Well, turns out, yes, today, actually. So those first couple ones I recorded with kind of still with that in my mind, that Odysseus didn't kill the kid. I thought that's kind of what started his misfortune by disobeying Zeus, basically. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So now he's, you know, fully owning up to it, becoming the monster, right? And I love that I guess my last real thought about the song itself is that I love that we ended with the refrains that we got from the very beginning. We got the When Does a Man Become a Monster from, I think it was the second song of the Troy Saga, and we also got the taste of Penelope, which was, I think, from The Horse and the Infant, the very, very first song, right? Yeah, so we kind of bookended this whole first act with those kind of things as the thesis, right? Those two themes that kind of solidify everything else that kind of this musical has been about, right? Just real good stuff overall. This was a really, really solid saga. If I had to rank this one, I'd put it above Cyclops and probably below Ocean. Still, I don't know if we're going to beat the back-to-back that was Keep Your Friends Close and Ruthlessness. Those two songs back-to-back were just so goated. I loved those. But this came real close. Like a short, just 3 songs, but 3 really impactful, really good songs. I am very, very happy with this here today. So, hey, don't forget to let me know what you think of this saga down in the description below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Where does it rank for you? Especially of the ones I've seen so far, or listened to so far, as it were. And yeah, I think I'm out of things to say here. So thank you all so much for watching, and come back next time as we start up the next saga and the beginning of Act 2 of Epic the Musical. Take it easy, everybody.